Just making a block for a sanding and sharpening a knife. So I'm going to put the mark in not too close to the edge, because I'm going to angle it and I don't want to have it break out, because I'm going to use a nail as a wedge. So I'll give it a bit of meat. It's a 2 inch by 1 inch block, somewhere around there, and a bit of a 45-degree angle going back into the wood. Somewhere around there, and then with a hacksaw, preferably a sharp hacksaw, like this one. The hacksaw will produce a fine inlet. Just at the end of the tape, we fold it back. That's nearly it. So it's about the depth of the blade. Should be enough. So we just want to cut out some sandpaper, obviously. I'll use the shape of the thickness of the wood as a template. So cut the length of the board. Oh shit, this. Like so, and that will give you a very long surface on which to do the work. So basically it goes in like that, and then the nail goes through like that, and then that will go like this, and that will give you the measurement where you can cut the end of it. So measure in place basically, and the next phase is to put a hole in. Just put a nail through for extra grip. So with the crosscut saw we can just cut through here once it's marked up with the square. Okay. Right on the upper end of it, side, just want to make a small cut here. That'd be enough. And then we're going to just remove that sliver of wood. Okay, so just remove that sliver of pine. so. Clean it up a little bit. That's all you really need. And it's done. So you can either have it like this, or you can put a piece of resilient material underneath. Obviously you can trim the nail up. Just pull it tight like so, and just form that up a little bit, just so these rubber bands can grip onto it. I haven't got a thick rubber band, but that'd be ideal, but I've got a couple of these guys here. Just put them on and roll that back, and that will hold it down nicely. Good enough anyway. It's basically similar to that idea there. And that is a nice long surface for working on. And you can grind away. So it's 1000 grit on there. So it's 1 inch by 2 inch wide. And pop it in the old vise and sharpen away. Unfortunately I haven't got anything that's blunt at the moment. So for the resilient material, for whatever convex shape you prefer, for a zero convex grind or whatever, and you can just slide whatever you want in under there, or you could actually go ahead and contact glue it down permanently. So basically you end up with a unit like that. Now it's always best to, with sandpaper in particular, you can initially grind on that way if you really want to remove some steel, but that will also destroy the edge because you're pushing the edge into all this grinding material. And obviously you want a fine edge, well that's not going to work very well. So it's best to go like this action here, say 3 strokes that way and then 3 strokes that way, so keep it nice and even, and you create an edge. I prefer around about 15 degrees, like that's 90, 45, half of that kind of thing. Muscle memory is actually pretty good. You'd be pretty hopeless if you can't remember to be able to keep to a reasonable edge. One of the problems with a flat stone is often they become a little bit convex themselves. Well, and you have to constantly flatten them out or persist. Most people, these can't be bothered. The ones I've seen on around the place, they end with a convex edge or convex shape in them anyway, a concave shape. I'll just go and show you. So this is a Japanese 3000 grit stone, and it's practically brand new. You can sort of see the convex shape it gets. Now I've purposefully been grinding at the ends, just in this area here, as much as I can, just to try and keep it flat, but you know, it soon gets that convex or concave shape in it. You know, I've seen stones eventually like this, you know, with a big hollow in them. And that's one thing that this doesn't have, obviously, because you're just always on a flat surface. When you wear out the sandpaper, you just replace it, so you don't have to worry about getting the concave shape in the stone. And you know that by default creates a convex edge on the edge of your knife anyway, and actually I've found myself that to be actually beneficial. Yeah, over my lifetime experience anyway. But coming back to the sharpening this, so always go in that direction. It's just better to do a few strokes evenly and just gradually create the edge until you know you're obviously shaving sharp, and then stop, rather than having to knock off the edge on something else. And then when you get to the real fine edge, it's best to sort of just tickle out like this, and this sort of action here. Just trying to get this on the bloody camera. There we go. That sort of action there. You can do it like that as well. So you're not at all pushing even the fine grit, you know, into the edge. You're just sort of gently sort of caressing it, and always keeping an equal amount of pressure, and just sort of repeating on both sides. Rather than this, you know, business you see going like this is just nuts. You know, I mean, who would do that? Who would push your fine edge into the thing? When you see a barber sharpening on the leather strop, he's always going like this. It's good to have a little bit of a serrated edge, I reckon, on the blade, so when you're actually pulling like that, even, you know, coming like this, you can actually create that serrated edge, like a steak knife basically. So this action here, you know, even on this, which is a 2000 grit oxide, you know, will create a razor sharp edge. It's just a matter of repetitively repeating on both sides. This is how I was taught to do it, by a gentleman who worked in the freezing works when I was about 17, and just sort of like that, stroking both sides like that, and you know, you really can't go wrong like that. But I believe it's just sort of better to give 3 strokes and then like that, but obviously never going like that, you know, driving the edge into the grit.